Hello ARMY, welcome back to the channel, and I need you to understand that what I am about to tell you is not a rumor, not fan speculation, not wishful thinking dressed up as news. This is confirmed. This is real. This is happening. On May 25, 2026, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, BTS will be attending the American Music Awards. They have been confirmed to appear. They are nominated in 3 categories: Artist of the Year, Song of the Summer, and Best Male K-Pop Artist. And the road that led to this moment, the voting campaigns, the ARMY who stayed up through the night streaming and organizing and encouraging each other on timelines across multiple time zones, is a story that deserves to be told properly, because what is about to happen in Las Vegas is not just an award show appearance. It is a statement. It is a homecoming. It is the moment when everything that has been building throughout this extraordinary year finally arrives on one of the most watched stages in American entertainment. And Jimin is going to be there. So let's talk about everything: what the nominations mean, what the appearance represents, what ARMY did to make it happen, and why May 25th in Las Vegas is going to be a night that nobody who loves BTS will ever forget. Let me start by giving you the full picture of what the American Music Awards actually is and what it means for BTS to be nominated and attending in 2026, because context matters here, and the full context makes this moment even more significant than it already is. The AMAs, the American Music Awards, are one of the most prestigious and most widely watched music awards ceremonies in the United States, a fan-voted show that has been a landmark event in American popular music for over 5 decades. Unlike some other award shows that rely primarily on industry panels or chart data, the AMAs give significant weight to fan voting, which means that the results reflect genuine audience engagement and genuine popular support rather than just commercial metrics. For a group like BTS, whose fan base combines extraordinary organization and extraordinary dedication in ways that no other fandom quite matches, the fan-voted nature of the AMAs is both an opportunity and a responsibility. An opportunity because ARMY's organizational capacity is genuinely unmatched, and a responsibility because with that capacity comes the expectation that the community will mobilize appropriately. And mobilize they did. The BTS acknowledgement in their live broadcast, where they specifically noted that ARMY had been working incredibly hard for voting, staying up through the night, streaming, collecting accounts, supporting each other on timelines, was not a generic thank you. It was a specific and informed recognition of what the community had actually been doing. BTS are aware of their fandom in a way that goes far beyond passive appreciation. They know about the campaigns, the streaming parties, the voting drives, the specific strategies that ARMY deploys in the lead-up to and during award season voting periods. And acknowledging that work publicly, telling millions of people that they see the effort and that it matters, is part of the specific quality of the BTS-ARMY relationship that makes it unlike any other artist-fan dynamic in the world. Now let's talk about the 3 nominations specifically, because each one tells a different story and each one has different implications for what May 25th might look like. The first and most significant nomination is Artist of the Year. This is the biggest prize the AMAs offer, the one that sits at the top of the hierarchy, the one that a win would make the biggest statement about where BTS stands in the American music landscape in 2026. Artist of the Year at the AMAs is not just a recognition of commercial success, it is a recognition of cultural impact, of the kind of sustained and meaningful presence in the American music conversation that defines what it means to be the biggest artist of a given year. BTS being nominated for this category in 2026, in the year of the Ararang album and the World Tour and the World Cup final halftime show announcement and all of the extraordinary moments that have defined this comeback, is entirely appropriate and entirely earned. For Jimin specifically, the Artist of the Year nomination is meaningful in a way that connects to everything he has contributed to BTS's 2026 renaissance. His songwriting contributions to the Ararang album, his vocal performances on tour that have generated reviews comparing them to the greatest live performances in contemporary pop music, his cultural presence across fashion and luxury and literary recognition, all of these contribute to the body of work that has made BTS the kind of artist that deserves Artist of the Year consideration. When the AMAs announced this nomination, they were acknowledging not just BTS as a commercial entity but BTS as an artistic force whose output in 2026 has been genuinely, measurably extraordinary. And Jimin is at the center of that force. The Song of the Summer nomination is the one that is perhaps most interesting from a musical perspective, because it places a BTS track in direct competition with the songs that have defined the American summer music conversation. Song of the Summer is a category that reflects what has actually been playing, what people have been listening to at barbecues and on road trips and in their cars in the summer heat, what has become the soundtrack of a specific season for a specific cultural moment. Having a BTS song nominated in this category is a statement about the kind of mainstream cultural penetration that the ARMY album has achieved, not just reaching K-pop fans but reaching the broader American listening public in the way that summer songs do, by becoming genuinely inescapable and genuinely beloved across demographics and backgrounds. And Jimin's contributions to that track, whatever specific song it is, are part of what made it summer-worthy. The Best Male K-pop Artist nomination is the category that most directly and most explicitly recognizes Jimin's individual standing in the American music landscape, because this is not just a group award but a recognition of the individual member's solo work and impact. Jimin has been building his solo profile with extraordinary consistency: the Face album, the Angel PT1 RIAA Gold certification, the collaborations, the critical recognition from publications ranging from Rolling Stone to the SF Chronicle to British music databases. The Best Male K-pop Artist nomination puts him in formal competition with other K-pop soloists for American recognition, and the fact that ARMY has been fighting hard in that specific category reflects an understanding of what a win there would mean, not just for Jimin's individual profile but for the message it would send about K-pop male artists in the American market broadly. Now let's talk about what the AMA appearance means in the specific context of the ARMY World Tour and of BTS's post-military comeback more broadly, because the timing is extraordinarily significant. The AMAs on May 25 fall right in the middle of the North American leg of the tour, between the Stanford run that just completed and the upcoming Las Vegas dates at Allegiant Stadium. This means BTS will be in Las Vegas not as visitors arriving specifically for the award show but as touring artists who are in the city as part of the most significant tour of their career. The energy they will bring to the MGM Grand Garden Arena on May 25 will be the energy of a group that has been performing together for weeks, that has found its footing and its flow in the specific dynamic of the ARMY tour production, that is operating at the absolute peak of its live performance capabilities. For anyone who has been following the tour and watching what BTS is capable of right now, the reviews, the fan accounts, the social media coverage, the critical analysis, the prospect of that group arriving at the AMAs in that state of performance readiness is genuinely exciting. Award show appearances from touring artists always tend to hit differently from award show appearances from artists who are in their non-touring period, because the weeks of live performance create a specific kind of readiness and a specific kind of connection between the members that is not achievable any other way. BTS at the AMAs on May 25 will not be a group performing a rehearsed set for cameras. They will be a group that has been performing live for weeks, for hundreds of thousands of people, and that brings all of that accumulated energy and chemistry to one of the most watched live music moments of the year. Jimin at the AMAs is a specific image that ARMY has been waiting for. Not because he has not been recognized elsewhere, the Rolling Stone feature, the Harper's Bazaar Korea editorial, the Bazaar Korea interview, the tour performances, all of the extraordinary moments of this year, but because the AMAs represent a specific kind of American mainstream recognition that connects to the particular journey BTS has been on in the United States. The AMAs have a history with BTS that goes back to some of their early American breakthrough moments, and the group's relationship with this specific award show is one that has evolved alongside their relationship with the American market more broadly. Being back at the AMAs in 2026, nominated for Artist of the Year, with the ARMY album at the top of the Billboard 200 and the World Tour selling out American stadiums, is the fullest possible expression of that evolution. Let's also talk about what happened in the live broadcast where BTS acknowledged ARMY's voting efforts, because that moment deserves more attention than it sometimes receives in the wider coverage of the AMA news. BTS going live and specifically thanking ARMY for staying up and voting and streaming and organizing, that is a very specific kind of acknowledgement that reflects a very specific quality of the relationship. It is not just a generic artist thanks fans moment. It is two parties in a relationship that has been built over more than a decade, in which one party knows exactly what the other party has been doing and takes the time to say specifically that they see it, specifically that it matters, specifically that the effort is recognized and appreciated. The ARMY who stayed up at 3 in the morning collecting accounts and running streaming parties and organizing voting campaigns did not do it expecting to be thanked. They did it because they genuinely love BTS and because organizing in service of that love is part of how this specific community expresses itself. But being seen by the people you love, having your effort acknowledged in specific and genuine terms, that lands differently from not being seen, and BTS made sure ARMY was seen. Now let's think about what Jimin specifically brings to the AMA appearance and why his presence there is something that the American music industry and the American general public should pay attention to. The Jimin who will walk into the MGM Grand Garden Arena on May 25th is not the same person who was photographed at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with Jungkook before their military service. He is someone who has completed that service, returned to the stage, contributed significantly to the Ararang album, delivered extraordinary live performances on a global tour, earned RIA Gold certification in the United States, been featured in the country's most prestigious fashion publications, been described by Grammy-winning producers as essential creative contributors to some of 2020's CX's most significant music, and been recognized by an 85-year-old Korean literary critic as embodying lyrical poetry of unprecedented quality. That is the Jimin arriving at the AMAs. That is who the cameras will find when they look for him on that stage. For the American audience watching the AMAs on May 25th, the viewers who are there primarily for the American pop stars, who know BTS as a name but may not know the full depth of what they have been doing this year, Jimin and his fellow members will be an introduction. Or a reintroduction. The same kind of introduction that happened at the 2022 World Cup opening ceremony with Jungkook performing Dreamers, except this time with all 7 of them, in a Las Vegas arena, in the middle of the most significant year of their career. Some of those viewers will be watching BTS for the first time with genuinely open attention, without the predispositions that sometimes accompany K-pop discourse in Western contexts, and what they will see is 7 people at the absolute peak of their artistic and professional powers doing what they do better than almost anyone in the world does it. The energy in Las Vegas around May 25th is going to be extraordinary, and not just because of the AMAs. The Allegiant Stadium shows are coming up right after the AMAs, which means Las Vegas will be one of the most concentrated zones of BTS energy in the entire North American leg of the tour. ARMY who are traveling to Las Vegas for the stadium shows will also be there for the AMAs. The city will have an energy that reflects the convergence of these 2 major events, and the specific quality of excitement that comes from a community that has been working hard toward a goal and is now about to see whether that work produced the result it was meant to produce. 3 nominations. Artist of the Year. Song of the Summer. Best Male K-pop Artist. May 25th, Las Vegas. MGM Grand Garden Arena. BTS. Jimin. And ARMY, the community that stayed up and voted and streamed and organized and did everything they always do when something matters, which is everything, always, completely. This is the moment they were working toward. And in 4 days, everyone is going to see whether the work was enough. Based on everything we know about ARMY and based on everything we know about BTS in 2026, the answer to that question feels pretty clear. But we will know for certain on May 25th. And whatever happens, the fact that BTS will be in that building, on that stage, representing everything this year has been, that is already extraordinary. That is already everything. Be ready, ARMY. Las Vegas is waiting. And so is the rest of America. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. On a week like this, sharing this video matters more than ever because everyone needs to know what is about to happen in Las Vegas. Drop a comment below telling me which category you think BTS is most likely to win and which performance moment from the AMAs you are most excited to see. Subscribe if you have not already, share this with your fellow ARMY, and I will see you in the next one. Purple you all.